Atamarie, good morning everybody and welcome along to this Zealed webinar. Today we're introducing Stuff Ads, learn how you can get your business in the news. Now Stuff is an amazing platform. It's New Zealand's largest and locally owned news site, and I know I've had my stuff fixed this morning checking out the news, and I'm sure many of you would have done the same. So it's my pleasure today to introduce myself. Well, I'm talking, so I don't really need to introduce myself, but Chloe Masters, who is from Stuff. She's been with Stuff for just over 4 years and is the architect behind the new Stuff Ads platform. So it's our pleasure to have you with us today, Chloe. Good morning.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's very exciting.
No problems. We'll just do a little bit of housekeeping and then I'll hand it over to you to run through just the detailed presentation that you've got, and we'll have a Q&A session as well at the end. So how we're going to run today is, if you can't hear anything, you probably can't hear me speaking. So I'm going to circle this. If you can't hear anything, you need to be using these audio settings here to adjust things. That should sort things out. If you have a question, you can ask by either raising your hand using the Q&A module, or you can even use the chat module as well. Any of these three buttons here can be used to get in touch with us. If you're okay with it, Chloe, and we've got a relevant question while you're talking, I might jump in and ask that if it makes sense to do so. So yeah, if you raise your hand, we could get you to ask the question directly, but would certainly save that part to the Q&A session at the end. If you miss anything, we're recording today's session and we will send you out a link to that later on today, as well as posting it into our webinar library, which you can find at zealed.com. So yeah, we're going to get into it. I'm really excited to hear more about the Stuff Ads platform. It's an exciting tool for small businesses in New Zealand. And so I'm going to stop sharing and hand over to you, Chloe. Take it away.
Thank you, Jara. I'm just going to share my screen. Yeah, here we go. Share.
Excellent.
Right, you can see my screen now.
Yes, I have. Cool.
So thank you everyone for joining us today. As Jara has done a very good introduction, I am the product owner / product manager for Stuff Ads. That was born, we started working on it last year. Because of COVID, we have always wanted to do a self-service platform where you can come and buy your advertising. So you don't need to speak to anybody face-to-face, which is quite pertinent in COVID times where we can't speak face-to-face. So we did build this platform aimed at small businesses initially, where it's very simple, only 6 steps. You can come in and book your advertising as and when you please, and also pay for it. So why advertising self-service? Well, we recognise that 97% of businesses in New Zealand are small to medium enterprise. So this means that they have probably less than 20 employees. They probably don't have a marketing specialist as part of their team. They're probably not that highly educated in advertising, but they do understand that they need to do it. They need to get their brand out there, but they're just not quite sure how to get there. We recognised also that as a business, we had put up quite some significant barriers for businesses to be able to advertise with us, i.e. having a minimum spend that was probably well above budgets of small businesses. You know, they're time poor, they work in their business during the day and on their business during the night, and our sales team are not working at night. So we recognised there was a bit of a gap, and we were leaving out probably the backbone of New Zealand businesses from our ecosystem. So in May last year, they came to me and they said, you understand digital advertising, build this platform. So we did. And now I will attempt to play a short video that will give you a good overview of how it works.
Stuff Ads is a self-service advertising platform that lets you create your own ads and turn our readers into your customers today. Simply create an account and get started. Whatever your marketing needs are, we've got you covered with our ad type choices. Once you've made your selection, it's time to get creative. Use high quality images and clear and engaging headlines and text. Whether you've got $5 or $500, Stuff Ads will deliver results regardless of your budget. Target your audience by device, interest, location, and choose when you want the ad to appear. Then review your ad and make sure everything's looking right before you finally enter in your payment details. And now it's over to us to review your ad. You can expect to get a confirmation within the next 12 to 24 hours. Once it's approved by our local Stuff Ads team, you can check the status column in the dashboard to see if it's live. Now that you're up and running, it's easy to track how your ads are performing. Sign up to Stuff Ads today and grow your business. Stuff Ads is a self-service advertising.
We don't want to do that. So that was a good overview of how the platform works at the moment. We are working in the background to introduce more formats and more functionality as time goes on. We did start with a very basic MVP, which we have moved on from since then. We launched in January this year and we have been going really well, probably a lot better than we had expected. The uptake has been really pleasing. But our whole point or our whole proposition is to get your business in the news. We are the biggest news platform in the country. So we thought, why not give you access to our audience for whatever budget you may have. And we had to make it really easy. So we did some extensive research and testing with actual advertisers that exist with us today about what they wanted to see in the platform. So things that didn't make sense or they didn't understand, we left out. So that's why you may see it is a very basic level at the moment, but we are working to introduce other things and other pricing types and other formats at the moment. So we just wanted our local businesses to harness our audience as much as possible, and that we wanted you, the control to be in your hands. So if you wanted to stop your campaign, if you wanted to change the budget, if you want to change the creative, it's not a week-long process. It's not backwards and forwards emailing. It's literally you can go in and do it yourself. So why us? We are probably more trusted than your traditional social media platforms at the moment as well. We try and produce not hugely sensitive content. So your brand will appear against news stories that aren't about shootings and things like that. They are about good things in the world. We do have a very high threshold for, we do have to obviously produce the news, but we don't monetize those articles all the time. We want you to reach more customers. So you can target your local area, you can target the whole country, and you can target the audiences that you think where your customers are. Alternatively, you can also run an always-on campaign that targets everything. And as you saw in the dashboard, we will tell you where your ad performed the best to help you make better decisions for your next campaign. We may not have known that your customers are falling into those other audience buckets. And obviously the control for you guys was the biggest point, was that we just wanted the customers to know that they could do whatever they wanted, that you know your business best, basically, you know better than us. We can just give you the eyeballs. And obviously Stuff was bought in May last year by Sinead, so it's back in New Zealand hands, which is a really big thing for us. We're now not under Channel 9 anymore, which is great that we got rid of the Aussies. So we're basically in charge of our own destiny, but that has become quite a big driver given our current economic situation we find ourselves in. So support local, you know that the money you're spending on your advertising will stay in New Zealand. We also have an onshore customer success team. So we do approve every ad that comes through. So we give you feedback on your creative. So if something comes through and we know, for example, that you've put some text on a native ad, we'll come back to you and say, we can approve it because
looks like we might have just lost Chloe there for a second. Hopefully that's just momentarily, and we can get her back. But yeah, so in the interim, one of the things I've been really amazed at is having a New Zealand firm come back in and take over a platform like Stuff. having that back in New Zealand ownership is pretty amazing. And we've got Chloe back, which is great. So I think we lost you partway through that slide. And so I had to just talk about my own thoughts on New Zealand ownership for stuff, which is, it was amazing to see that happen. I know there was a lot of talk about it being maybe moved into one of the other big media firms as well. And then for it to stick with New Zealand ownership in the way that it did was just amazing for New Zealand as a whole to see our biggest news platform in New Zealand ownership.
Yeah, it has been quite a journey for internal staff as well. And I do remember the day where Sinead announced she was buying the business, and everyone was just so stoked. She is very, very well respected internally and is an amazing leader, particularly through these COVID times as well. So, it's been quite a cool process to be part of. Anyway, as I said earlier, no more barriers. So if you've got $5 or $150 or $500 to spend, we don't mind. You come in and you put in your budget, and we will deliver it out for you based on the targeting that you select. We also only bill you once a week to your credit card. So you only ever get billed for the delivery that you've received. So you're not paying up front and then not getting the eyeballs or not getting the clicks or anything like that. We only charge you for what you get. Very simple creatives and very simple ad formats at the moment. So we have native and display in an MREC as well. So native, you can bring across any of your social advertising that you might be running. So your image, a headline, and some body text, or you can just have an image and a design for the display as well. And obviously local support when you need it. That is a big, we did find through our research that was a big thing for customers. So we decided to keep it onshore. Here's just an example of the two formats that we currently offer. We are working towards introducing most other executions for digital and half page and billboards as well. We won't probably have things, the big homepage takeovers, but if that is something that you want, we have a direct line to a sales team that will be able to help you with that. We have integrated stuff ads with our sales team in the way that you can run your always on campaigns through stuff ads that you have control over. And for those bigger executions, you can have the support of the sales team through that. Or if you just want to use stuff ads for quick tactical campaigns once a month, that's cool as well. We just want to make sure that we're capturing as many customers as possible and making sure there's something for everybody. So yeah, the roadmap at the moment is introducing more display formats, and then we'll also look at a video format as well. We're just working through how that would work and how we'll deliver that to site. So we do have some guidelines and some tips and tricks available, which may or may not be news to you. No logos on native. So the native advertising, which is this one on your left here, is served on site to look like an article. So it looks native to the platform. It doesn't actually look like advertising. So that's why we say don't put any text on the image, because generally these thumbnails don't have text as part of an article. But you can put more information in your headline and your body copy there as well. So that's quite a good format to have and has a very high click-through rate as well. So obviously avoid text. Say what's in the box. More direct and honest description, the higher the engagement. So I'm probably not saying anything new at the moment to you, but if you're very direct with your call to action through this text here, you're probably more likely to have better engagement on your ad. People first, we have seen that when you put images of humans, ads tend to perform better than if it was of a random plant or something like that. Just depends on what your business is, but we have seen that, so that's quite a good tip. And obviously real photographs, or like obviously our branding at the moment is cartoon-like images, but real photographs such as a house like this works really well as well. As you can see, we adhere to that with this DHL ad as well. So yeah, that's stuff ads. We have a special deal for Zeal customers as well, that if you enter Zeal30 as a promo code when you come to your checkout, you can get 30% off your campaign budget. So that means that we will deliver out the full budget that you've put in, but you'll only pay 30% less than what you have entered. which is really cool. The other part that I haven't covered is you can also earn Flybuys points. We do have a partnership with Flybuys as well. So for every $25 you spend, you earn one Flybuys point with us, which is a really cool little incentive as well. So are there any questions?
Fantastic. Thanks, Chloe. Great to get that insight into how the Stuff Ads platform came about and how you can use it. It's a really nice, simple interface and makes it nice and easy. And I know we've had a number of customers in our gym program try it out and had a great experience as well. So that's really fantastic. So we'll open the floor to questions. I had a couple just while we're waiting for those to come through. So anyone can use the Q&A module or the chat there if you want to send something through. What sort of and types of companies have you seen use Stuff Ads and use them well?
So to begin with, we had everybody and anybody was coming in to have a look at what was going on and how to use it and that kind of thing. But mostly we've seen a lot of retail and a lot of small businesses, but not the small businesses like Jim's lawn mowing doesn't tend to come to us. But we've had anything from very niche industries such as rabbit food manufacturers, all the way through to we've had the Kind Face, which we've just done a really good case study on, who is a New Zealand manufacturer of obviously face masks and eye masks. And companies like that have an e-commerce site tend to advertise most heavily with us, which is quite interesting. And a lot of recruitment as well. For some reason, recruiters like to come in, and real estate as well. So they're the three main ones.
It's great to know. I've got a question through from Michelle. Do you have an arrangement for charities? Is there anything you do there?
Definitely talk to us. We do traditionally have a charity rate card. So come and have a chat and we'll see what we can do. But we do support a lot of charities around the place. So yes, we don't have anything set in stone, but we're happy to help wherever we can.
Okay, great. Thank you. And next question, we've got lots coming through actually from Vanita. She says, hi, you may have covered this as I missed some of the webinar earlier, but can you tell us about placement and where ads would be placed? Can you choose sections and placement?
Yep. So we have audiences that you can select, which actually gives you the benefit of both worlds, which we've done in the back end. But the audiences which relate directly to our sections. So you can have life and style, travel, motoring, entertainment, property, which is our honed section as well, news or business. So your ad will appear on those sections if you select them, or you can select all of stuff, which therefore it will run everywhere. And then in addition to that, we have behavioural segments that are also integrated, where those customers or those audience members that read articles, like 3 articles in the last week on motoring, but might happen to be reading entertainment, your ad will also be served to them as well if you have chosen the motoring segment. So you can absolutely choose your audience. And if there are audiences there that are missing or that you'd like to see, please do let us know. We're very open to feedback, and the only way that we can make this better is if you guys tell us what you want. So very open to whatever you have to say.
That's awesome. So in summary, you can kind of target based on maybe contextual, so you can place your ads alongside content that's relevant to your organization, or maybe based on interest. So if there's a user that's interested in those sort of services or that sort of topic, you can place alongside that as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Excellent. Thanks for clarifying that. And so I've got one from Vince here. It says, what digital platforms do you use? It's pretty much just the Stuff Ads platform, right? So it's just placement on stuff is the
it's placement on stuff. There may be scope in the future. Well, there will be scope in the future. We do have a social platform that you may or may not have heard of called Neighbourly, which we are running a project at the moment to rebuild. So there will be a option later in the piece to also target Neighbourly, which will be quite hyper-local targeting. So that is coming, that is in the pipeline. But at the moment, it is just stuff. I can't say too much more, but there will be it will widen in the future. That's all I can say.
It's really good to know. Awesome. Now, where do you think stuff sits in a traditional marketing plan? Like, how would you see that fitting in?
That's a really, really good question that we get asked quite a lot, all in various different ways. So because we have such a vast audience, 3 million people a week come to stuff, we see ourselves as top of the funnel. So if you are running awareness campaigns or you just need to get in front of people, we say come to us and run those campaigns with us. Generally, our audience will come to stuff to read the news, obviously, that's our primary product, and to see your brand alongside that trusted news source is a really good way to have your brand also be trusted. I wouldn't say that we're at the bottom of the funnel where people come to stuff and then click on ads to buy things directly, but they might come to educate themselves or have a look around or that kind of thing. So primarily awareness. There are things that we can do, and we do see quite a lot of conversion, but I wouldn't say that we are the conversion for you. We are your broad reach funnel there.
Awesome. Okay, so so really stimulative, right? So you kind of think if you want to get your brand out there and have that more recognized, or if you've got a new offer that people are not aware of, or something that people might not be searching for yet because they don't know it exists, that's what you've got to try and get that awareness up. And so that's where stuff ads would really fit, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. So I've got a question from Marie. Might be a bit tricky to because there'll be all sorts of different variables here, but as an example, how many people would you be able to reach with a budget of $20?
Oh, a budget of $20, roughly around 20,000-ish.
Right. So that's kind of views or impressions, right?
That's not uniques. That will be just views. We don't guarantee any of these campaigns either, which is why we only bill you for what you get, because obviously we can't predict with guaranteed or how much traffic we're going to get. For example, we know that when there's a 1 p.m. press conference, our traffic goes up. So you can also time target your ads through stuff ads as well. So you can do it from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or you can do it from 5 p.m. to midnight if you're a takeaway shop, for example. But yes, we do have peaks and troughs in our traffic, but it does depend on how much traffic we get per day. So, we do try our very best to serve out as much as possible. So there's never been a problem with delivery at the moment.
There's lots of people looking at the news. At 3 million unique visitors each month. Yes. That's a really impressive figure. So that's really what we're trying to get to, right? Or what we're hoping businesses can use to get to. Got another question from Vince here. Do your reports show the number of people who are clicking through to the website or the landing pages? So you've talked about impressions, but do you get the click-through data as well?
So you will get impressions per device. So depending on, again, you can target desktop, tablet or mobile. We will tell you impressions and clicks per device. We will also tell you impressions and clicks per section if you have done the whole of stuff, and geolocation as well. So those clicks are taken from the server where you have someone on stuff has physically clicked on your ad, and wherever your URL that you have supplied takes them to is where they will land.
Okay, awesome. That's great. Okay, Jeanette has asked if you have a finance segment.
We would put that probably under business at the moment. What we have tried to do in the first instance is give you the audiences with the biggest pool. So finance probably didn't make the cut because we didn't think there was enough in there. But if that is something that you were after, absolutely, we can pop that in. Great. I think over time we will start building these audiences as well, because there's lots of exciting things coming for stuff which we will be able to leverage.
Great. Oh, that sounds exciting. Question from Michelle here, which is an interesting one. Does your platform have other language options such as Te Reo Māori or Chinese?
On stuff or on stuff ads?
I'm guessing stuff does. I haven't seen anything like that. Can you switch language or anything? Or
you can't switch language on stuff ads at the moment as a platform. Stuff, however, has a Te Reo segment on its own.
Okay.
And we do celebrate each language week where we do change the stuff name to whatever it is in that language.
Gotcha.
But there's nothing at the moment where you can change it on the user end.
Okay. Oh, good
but that's great feedback. I can take that to the experience team.
Yeah. No, that is really interesting. So I've got a question from Rona. Hi, Chloe. Is your platform worth trying for B2B advertising?
Absolutely. We're quite broad reaching, so I wouldn't say don't do that, because we think, well, everybody who comes to stuff could be a business owner, they could be an employee, they could be not employed at all. So the audience is very wide. So I would say definitely give it a go. With B2B, I think we do have a segment there with recruiters that find it very useful as well. So that's probably as close as we've got to B2B, but definitely give it a go. I think it just depends on your industry as well, what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, but I mean, the decision makers for a lot of businesses will still be reading the news, right?
Absolutely.
So the people that you want to talk to are probably there. It's just a matter of getting the messaging right and the targeting right.
We do have a section under the business called Prosper, which was made specifically for small businesses. So that would be where I would start as well. There is a lot of tools and information in that section as well for businesses. So absolutely.
Cool. Okay. Vince has got another question. Some great questions coming through, guys. Keep them coming. We've got a little bit more time for it. So are all of the accounts billed directly to a credit card? I think the answer to that, yes, isn't it?
Yes. At the moment it is. It's all credit card based payments, and it just happens automatically. There's no human involved other than you entering your credit card details. But do be aware, if it does decline for whatever reason, we do stop the campaign in that sense, and then you have to come back in and re-enter a valid credit card. So there's very small risk there. But yeah, at the moment it is just credit card payments.
Okay. And he's also follow up to that is, do you offer any kind of agency commissions or anything like that, or is it's just self-service really at the moment?
It is self-service, but if you're interested in that, I am happy to chat.
Okay, cool, great. There you go. And then Michelle has asked, can the ads have in-text links?
In-text links? Oh, links in the text of the...
I'm guessing so. So like hyperlinks from the text on the ads, but the whole ad links, doesn't it?
Yeah, the whole ad will link. I don't know that an in-text link would actually serve as a link, because when you click on the ad or anywhere on the ad space, it will take you to the URL that you have supplied. So I would say probably not. No, that makes sense. Okay. And Hannah has asked, how much can you modify the ad content after you launch your ad, like the imaging and the headline, and can you set it up with the ability to test multiple headlines? Absolutely. You can run up to 5. So when you create an ad, you actually create a campaign, but you can run up to 5 ads per campaign at the moment. Just because we thought more than 5 is actually quite a lot to run, but you can resubmit your creative after you've gone live at any time. We just reapprove the creative each time, but nothing stops in the background. So until we've reapproved it, it'll just run on the old creative, but you can do that as many times as you like, or as little as you like. There is no limit to changing it up. So absolutely. And lots of people actually do that. We've seen come through, particularly when we give feedback on creative. It's been really interesting to see people actually take that feedback on board, and they do resubmit creative based on the feedback. So as many times as you like, go for gold.
Awesome. Okay. And I think we'll probably just have one final question here. Are there any plans for other advertising formats and channels to be accessed through Stuff Ads? Because the firm, you've got a lot of different assets that people could advertise on, right? So imagine there's a few other options maybe in the pipeline.
Yes. So the immediate up until Christmas, there will be other digital formats coming in. The next one, which I can let you in on, is a mobile leaderboard. So the leaderboard will only serve on our app and mobile site. So we want to get into every pocket of every New Zealander. So as soon as you open up the app or you open up mobile, it sits at the top of the screen there. You'll be able to buy that very, very soon. The development team is working on that at the moment, which is really cool. and you'll be able to target your region as well, which is also really awesome. And so following on from that, we will have the other suite of digital formats in billboard and half page, and also video will come as well. And then beyond that, we are currently looking at how we can help with print advertising and self-service as well. So we probably are going to start with our community papers. If you are unaware, we own most of the community papers up and down the country, plus the mastheads in Wellington and Christchurch, so the Don Post and the Press. But also your community papers, so your Eastern Couriers and your Bay Couriers and all of that actually are owned by Stuff. So you'll be able to run a very similar to the native ad actually, called Live Local, Buy Local campaign that we're running. So you'll be able to buy that, and they're about $70 per run. So we are looking at integrating that as well, also alongside Neighbourly, which you can digitally target your neighbourhood. So there is a long runway of advertising formats there. And like I say, I can't say too much yet, but Stuff will probably expand into other inventory, shall we say. But yes, there is a very long runway of introducing over time other formats. So we just really wanted to validate that self-service was something, we were meeting a demand in the market, and I think we have validated that now, that there is definitely space for us in this ecosystem. So yeah, definitely coming.
Cool, very exciting. So I suppose takeaway there is if try what's there at the moment, but don't be afraid to just keep coming back and looking for other options as they come online. Before we wrap up, would you mind just maybe sharing with us that promo code again, if you've got that on the previous screen or something?
Absolutely.
There you go. So if people want to check it out, ZEAL30, and that'll get you 30% off your campaign. If I remember rightly, you set the budget for the amount that the campaign will run at, and you'll actually be billed at 70% of what you've set the budget to be, and it'll just come off your credit card as well. Okay, awesome.
Absolutely. So ZEAL30, it's not case sensitive. But if anyone has any troubles with anything, do email the customer support. Probably will end up getting me. But we're more than happy to help you out, and we can do it reasonably quickly as well. So.
Okay, that's great. I've just got a quick question come through, very relevant from Jeanette. How long is this promo code available for?
Oh, yes, to the 20th of November.
There you go. All right. So for the next month. Excellent. Thanks, Chloe. All right. We'll just do a little bit of a wrap up here. ZEAL has been working in the New Zealand market for over 20 years now, and we've helped 15,000 businesses achieve digital transformation from websites and digital marketing through to automation and integration. If you're looking for a website or even a digital strategy just to understand how technology can help you achieve your objectives, then you can request a strategy session from ZEAL. It's free. There's no obligation, and we can kind of help you make sense of this digital world and get the right solutions in place, whether that's a website, maybe some stuff ads running alongside it as well, to get the awareness up. All right. We also have our Get E-commerce movement, which continues. We give away free templated e-commerce sites for any small business that would like them. They're free to set up. There's free hosting for the first 12 months. And then after 12 months, it's 2% of transactions run through the website for the hosting fee, with a cap of $99 per month. So it really helps you get online and de-risk that process, and also keeps those costs in line with the performance of the website until you can kind of stand on your own 2 feet there. And we've got some real success stories through that program. Robin's Cottage here is one of them, one of our local here in Tauranga businesses that's done really well with that free e-commerce site. So if you would like to have a look and see if you could apply for a free site, then just head along to zeal.com and look for the Get E-commerce movement. Just want to thank you once again, Chloe, for your time and you're sharing all of your knowledge about the Stuff Ads platform. It looks like it's going really, really well, and I can see a lot of success on the horizon for that as well. So thank you
so much for having me. It's been very fun.
No problems at all. Cool. All right. Thanks everyone. Have a great day. We'll have another webinar in a couple of weeks. And if you want to learn more about the digital space, we have our full webinar library online at zeal.com as well. So feel free to check that out. All right. We'll see you again soon. Thank you. Ka kite.